All right, Moth into Flame just hit today.
Yeah.
This is about 5 weeks after Hardwired came out, and we have a reaction video for Hardwired up. Click on our YouTube thing there, subscribe to us, and listen to that. But in the meantime, you're listening to this because you want to know about Moth into Flame, I guess, or at least you want to know someone else's opinion. So,
that's right.
This is Trent Jason from Thunder Underground. Jason's favorite band is Metallica.
That's right.
It always has been. So I'll let you take the lead on this because I think I talked first on Hardwired. So
okay, well, I like this better than Hardwired. I think not to say that one was terrible, because it wasn't. This is more my thing. Had a catchy chorus. I love the double guitars. I think I had told you earlier it was kind of like Death Magnetic just grabbed the Black Album by the haunches and humped it into submission. Because you have that urgency of Death Magnetic, and then you kind of have a really cool chorus. It's pretty catchy. I think the solo section has a lot of a little bit more palpable stuff, and a classic Kirk Hammett wah solo. So I really enjoyed it. It was a bigger dose, So that's my first thoughts on it. I mean, it could change tomorrow or next month or whatever, as music geeks tend to do. But first thoughts, that's kind of what jumped out at me first.
Okay. Yeah, it was about almost twice as long as Hardwired. So that's more we were expecting, because I think they said this thing is going to be like 80 minutes, and that first track was 3 minutes long. So you knew you're going to get some long ones. Yeah. But 6 minutes isn't too long for a Metallica song. That's like an average length. And that's the first thing that jumped out at me, besides, the opening, that guitar in the very beginning, and then coming out of the solo reminds me a lot of like Ride the Lightning kind of stuff, but obviously more modernized, but it has that kind of feel to it. And then, like you said, the chorus and everything else, a lot of his phrasing, the way he's singing the verses reminds me of the faster stuff from the Black Album, like Holier Now and A Wolf and Man. Just the way he's singing it, that's instantly what it took me to. And kind of like we talked about Hardwired, the sound is just way bigger and fuller than Death Magnetic was. And I know that they weren't going for that with Death Magnetic, but to me, Death Magnetic sound like they were trying too hard to not do that. Yeah. And this just sounds like Metallica. Like it all, Death Magnetic does too, but this sounds like what I expect to hear. Okay. Like, on the good side of things, I don't expect to hear, Frantic or something, but you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Well, I think that rawness of Death Magnetic is still there. You can hear that in this song and in Hardwired. But it just, I see where I've already seen some reaction today that people are saying, it's kind of the same clippy kind of sound as Death Magnetic. And I get that a little bit. There's still, like I said, a lot of rawness, but they're polishing it up just a little bit.
Yeah, it's slicker, but it's not
a little slicker, but not. Yeah,
it's not Black Album slick, but it's it's slicker than they have been since then, probably.
Yeah, Yeah. What do you think of Hetfield's vocals?
I don't like when he says "Moth into Flame." Yeah, it bugs me. That's probably the only part of the song that bugs me for some reason. But I like the versing and everything else, and it's kind of weird that you say that, because I was going to bring up, it's funny that even after, I guess, 20 years now, it's still hard for me to get used to his vocals post Black Album. Okay. Even though it's been 20 plus years and we've heard these songs tons of times, I guess when I think of Metallica, like most people, you think of those first 5 albums, and kind of after that's when his voice has shifted to this more singy thing. Yeah. And I don't really, a lot of people don't like it. I think it's fine for the most part, but it's just still weird every time I hear a new Metallica song. I guess I'm expecting to sound like he did on Welcome Home Sanitarium or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they're in their 50s now, so right. even if they wanted to, didn't want to, they're going to sound different. Yeah. I don't think he's not singing as, clear and syrupy as he did on Unforgiven or Nothing Else Matters. Right. But he's not as gruff as he used to be either. I just think it's a new time and a new age. And, as these guys grow, they're going to change no matter, what we want them to do or what they want to do. So, I mean, but I think it works. It's working for this song. It's a great riff. It sounds like a classic Metallica riff to me. It sounds like something you'd hear on the Black Album or Master of Puppets. So, I can only hope that I think I'm going to like this album better than Death Magnetic, but we'll see. Yeah. It's still early to say that, but Moth into Flame is pretty promising. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, the first song, Hardwired, got me. I was happy with it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the album. But I like this even more than that. So I'm really looking forward to this now.
Yeah.
Like any metal fan, like we talked about this on the last one, even people that hate Metallica have listened to this song.
That's right.
Because they want either their sheer curiosity just to see if maybe they're going to like it, or they just want something new to bitch about.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And, there's hordes of people that, they haven't done shit worth of shit since Injustice for All or the Black Album. It's one of those two albums that is where people's cutoff point is.
Yep.
And sure, I ragged on Load and Reload and Saint Anger like everybody else, but there's great songs, at least on those Load and Reload.
Yeah.
And even Saint Anger, if it was produced better.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I think this song, just off of hearing it 3 or 4 times before we recorded this, is one of the better things I've ever heard from him post The Struggle Within, because that's the last song on the Black Album.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good point. And I think that it's these 2 songs that we've heard from this new album so far are a bit more focused than anything that was on Death Magnetic.
Yeah.
It's not so, riff A, riff B, riff C, riff, all the way to riff, S.
Yeah.
I mean, whereas like Saint Anger went to like riffs A through Z and then double A, double B.
Right.
But I mean, they're tightening things up and making things more concise, which is something I noticed on Moth in the Flame that I really like. So that's just another plus. I'm pretty happy so far.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something to look forward to if you like metal or Metallica. November 18th, right? I think we said that before we remembered that, because it was Kirk Hammett's birthday and Michael Thrash's birthday.
That's right.
And Lonnie Walter's birthday. There you go.
People are like, who the fuck is that?
But that's how we remember Kirk Hammett's birthday, because of those 2 guys. But anyway, like I said earlier, go back and listen to our Hardwired reaction, and then go to soundcloud.com/Thunder-Underground. We've got 89 podcasts now, and we've had on Sid Falk from Overkill, and I noticed today that he posted his reaction to the song, and he loved it.
Really? So I got to go look that up. I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, I didn't read the comments. There was tons of them, so I'm sure there's tons of you're right and you're wrong. But
yeah.
Anyway, Sid Falk was on here, a 2-part episode. It was awesome. We've also had on guys from Drowning Pool and Crowbar and Corrosion of Conformity.
Megadeth.
Yep.
Act of Defiance.
Down, Soil.
The Obsessed.
Yes. And then, of course, we've had on guys from bands like our most recent one was Mark Kendall from Great White. We've had on guys like that from Warrant and Bull Boys and Frank Cannon Band. But just go in and check all that out. TheThunderUnderground.com is where everything's housed. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Obviously, you're on YouTube right now. But Periscope, SoundCloud. Look us up. You got anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. See you.